For this project, we are going to look at the dependent variables and independent variables of the digestion, which is related to the digestive system.
The digestive system is a group of organs working together to convert food into energy and basic nutrients to feed the entire body. Food passes through a long tube inside the body known as the alimentary canal or the gastrointestinal tract. To achieve the goal of providing energy and nutrients to the body, six major functions take place in the digestive system: ingestion, secretion, mixing and movement, digestion, absorption, excretion. We have many independent variables, such as genetics, clinical state, pH on the stomach acid, kind of food, quantity of food, family of the food. But the one that we choose was pH on the stomach acid.
Now, let's plant an hypothesis with this independent and dependent variable. If the pH of gastric acids goes lower, then the decomposition rate of food will increase because the acids has the property of decomposing organic matter. So, if there is more acidity, then the process will go faster. The acid has many evidence of this property already told. It's corrosive and could decompose many kind of materials, or at least altering their properties. For example, corrosion on the houses caused by the acid rain, destruction of body cells when touching these kind of materials, especially with very acid ones, and the digestion itself. So, let's start making up our experiment. So, basically, for measuring our independent variable, we will need three things. First, the pH strips. For measuring in scale, how much is the acidity of our acids. Then, a chronometer to know where is the moment when the reaction of the acid and the organic matter start to take place on a short term of time. And finally, we will also need some beakers for measuring the quantity and mass of the acid we will be applying to our food so we could have this variable control. The scale we will be using on these tools will be first for the pH strips will be the pH between 0 and 7. That means the acid or object is neutral, so we don't care about more than 7 or 7. On the other hand, we have the chronometers, which we will be using for measuring time of the reaction. This scale will be between the minutes and the hours. For the beakers and measuring the quantity of acid we will be using on the experiment, we will need the scale of milliliters, especially between 100 milliliters and 400 or 500 milliliters, because we will not need more than that. To prove the reaction we are going to explain on this experiment. For measuring the dependent variable, we will only need two things. First, another chronometer to know the radio where the reaction takes place. So we could know how fast or how low or lower the reaction could take place because of the pH of the acid, which is the independent variable. On the other side, we will need the eyes and our senses to notice the difference between the food we introduce on perfect conditions on the acid and how it go out after the experiment and the contact with the acid.
What we are going to see is the pH. The first step is to measure the pH. Step 2. We have to see what type of food is. We have to see if it's a man or a woman. If it's a man, if it's younger or older, and a woman, a young woman or an older woman. In a glass, we have to put some Coke, and in other glass, we have to put water. The third glass is going to have lemon juice. Then we have to put a cookie inside the glass of Coke, water, and lemon juice. Then we have to wait 5 hours. After that 5 hours passed, we have to see each glass and take notes about what happened to the cookie. The first, it's a Coke glass. Then we have to put first glass and take notes about what happened and compare it to the others. Then we are going to change the food. We are going to take off the cookie and get a piece of bread. We are going to put a piece of bread in the first, the second, and the third glass. Then we are going to wait about 5 hours and check the first glass, the second glass, and the third glass. Then we have to compare what happened with the cookie first and then with the bread, but we have to investigate the pH level of Coke. The pH level of Coke products range from 2.5 to 4.2. The most addictive Coke product is Coke Classic, which has a pH of 2.5. This beverage contains phosphoric acid, an additive used to enhance the flavor of soft drinks. The pH of lemon juice is about 2. In general, a water with a pH 7 is considered acidic and with a pH less than 7 is considered basic. The normal range of pH in surface water systems is 6.5 to 8.5, and for groundwater systems 6 to 8.5. Alkalinity is a measure of the capacity of the water to resist a change in pH that will tend to make the water more acidic. The measurement of alkalinity and pH is needed to determine the corrosivity of the water. With this, we conclude that it depends about if it's water, Coke, or another liquid to compare pH, but it also depends about the type of food and the type of family that the food is. For example, in this experiment was not the same the cookie from the bread.